Yo, what's going on? It's DJ Crowley and Blue is in the house, of course, as well. And we're in a different space, ooh, but we're in the same place. That's right. It's Simmer Down live from home. And we have an old friend now in the house, Ben Sundub, Brooklyn. You're back. What is going on?
What's up, man? Yes, we're back. Thanks for having me back on the show. And yeah, man, it's good to see you. Hope everything is well. Excited to chat.
Yeah, I was super excited to chat, man. You guys have been extremely busy. I think it was 2 years ago that we chatted around that time where Spirits dropped, and two records now have dropped since that point. I want to first just get into something real quick here. You guys went to Jamaica to Tuff Gong. Uh, Tell us a story about getting off the plane in Jamaica and knowing that you're going to be recording a record at Tuff Gong.
It was definitely an amazing experience. I've always wanted to go to Jamaica. I think everyone who listens to reggae hopefully has some desire to go to the place where the music is from. But yeah, we were thinking about where to record the third record, and once again, through working with Sydney Mills, who's been in the band really since the inception, you could say, um, he was able to set up the session there. Yeah, it's a storied grounds. It's an incredible place that so much good music has come out of, and yeah, it was incredible to get off the plane and realize our like dream is sort of coming true in that sense. Yeah, it was beautiful, man.
It's wild. I remember when you guys told me like, yeah, we're going down to Jamaica and we're gonna do it. And there's not a lot of bands that I know of that have gone down there and done it. And you guys did it. Shoot your arrow, man. Let's get into this record. First, let's just talk about it. Shoot your arrow. Shoot your arrow. What does this mean? What does shoot your arrow mean?
Shoot your arrow is like take your shot, aim with intention to do the things that you want to do and do them. I guess in the most simplest terms. Yeah, the song itself is about that and about yeah, going after your dreams, going after the things that you want and trying to make your best effort.
Which you guys are, man. The road is
Right.
not an easy place, and you guys are navigating it. And throughout this chat, we're gonna have a theme of kind of lessons learned. You guys have grown up as a band over the years, and it's so cool to see you guys, start moving and growing. Let's talk about the first lesson learned. What's something you've learned from the greats? You've worked with so many of them. One of them is actually in your band. What have you learned?
I've learned that there's so many ways to do music. Everyone has their own style. Sometimes it's difficult to let that style come through. It might take time, but I'd say the out of the greats that we've worked with, all of those people are just very unique and really are true to themselves, and that's what makes them great because they are wholly doing their thing. And yeah, that's I guess that embodies a lot of the people that you're referring to that we've worked with who've been around, I think take time to and experience and failure, honestly, to become great. So, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you got to go through the negative to get to the positive. I mean, that is part of life. Hey, if you guys are just tuning in, you are late. Late, late. It's okay. We got Ben Teters in the house of Sundub. Their brand new record, Shoot Your Arrow, is available everywhere now. Hey, there's some really cool collabs on this one, man. Tell us about it. You got Hyrie, you got Mike Love, among others. I mean, you got Dean Fraser, you got Earl Smith. How did we get all the family together, I guess, for this one?
being in Jamaica was, very instrumental in especially getting like Earl and Dean involved, because they're both down there. Yeah, for Chinna, we were able to have him come by the studio and just jam and, lay some tracks on a few songs. And then when we worked with Dean, we were able to go over to his place and have him record some sax and some other horn players in the area came by, and it was amazing. I mean, this guy's a these guys are part of the culture down there and part of the music for a really long time. Chin has played on thousands and thousands of tracks, same with
Right.
Dean. So it was incredible to be able to work with them and yeah, just see their process. It was so great to see Chin in the studio and just the way he, he listened to the song a few times, he gets the feel for it, and then he'll just work through the song. And he's just doing it. And that's what's so great is like, we're writing these songs, developing them, so we're going through them a lot of times and making a lot of decisions along the way until we're like, okay, let's go record this. But it's cool to see someone come in and hear the song, maybe even just once or twice, and just react to it right there without overthinking.
Right. That
If that
reaction.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So I do have another lesson learned for you. Now, is it correct that you co-produced this one?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, how about another lesson learned? What another lesson from co-producing this one down at Tuff Gong with all these amazing greats? What'd you learn from producing this one?
I would say every album is its own experience in terms of producing it. I haven't produced a ton of records, especially records that are this like in depth and really, I think the songs are incredible and the arrangements and everything is at a real high level. So it needs a high level of work to make everything come together, so to speak, in production. I think I learned that. I mean, I went deeper on this song in terms of the production and the editing and the whole process than the previous records, and I hope to continue that into our next recording whenever that is. And yeah, I mean, every record is its own journey for sure.
It is. I mean, and you had Brooklyn Rhythm, which was so cool. And if you guys don't know, these guys are from Brooklyn, New York. This is Easy Star territory. Another kind of lesson learned. How has it been now that you're really just deep into this Easy Star Records family, man? How's it feel after all these years?
We love Easy Star. Those guys are amazing. They've helped us so much. They're a really big part of the community, the music community in New York, and especially the reggae scene. And yeah, it's been great to have their guidance through the process and creatively and logistically and in all the ways that a good label will help you like bring your product, out there to the right people and make it the best it can be. So they're incredibly helpful, super cool. We love them and can't say enough good things about Easy Star.
Yeah, big up Lemma, Eric, and the whole crew out there. Really just picking the right people to represent their artistic realm. They're just such a special thing.
Hmm.
Let's move on here. I do want to talk about the live shows. You guys just got done doing a couple album release shows. Tell us about those. And you got a little kind of tour coming up. Easy Star is you're gonna be supporting Easy Star. Uh, All Stars here on a couple of them. Tell us about what's coming up with the tour and how the shows have been. That's one thing about this record, man. We listened to it earlier, and it's gonna be a banger live. Like there's
Hmm.
tracks on that record that just I can see it live. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, man, thank you. It is a very live record. Like that's another thing about the sessions at Tuff Gong is we were all in the same room, like really all in the same room, not in booths or like, we were all in the same room, even all on the same mix, pretty much, which is pretty pretty rare for like a modern recording
Right.
situation. But we were all in the same mix, all in the same room, so it's a live record for
Right.
sure. It's a lot. It's meant to be performed live. The songs are recorded live, so yeah, I agree. It's good, and the tour and the shows have been great. Um, we're performing the material from the new album for the first time, so that's always fun and interesting and a challenge as well to, have new songs to add to your repertoire and fit them in, but it's great. Yeah, we did a Brooklyn album release show that was great at a place called Vinyl and Thread. Shout out Melanie and Marcus. Those guys are great. If you're ever in Brooklyn and Dumbo, go check that out. And then the night after that, we did a show in upstate New York at the Falcon, and that was another great night. And yeah, we're going down to Florida with Easy Star. Actually, sorry, before Florida, we're doing Boston.
Mm.
Boston, we're coming May 29th. That's at Brighton Music Hall. Then we go down to Florida with the Easy Star All Stars. We'll be down there for three shows with them in Gainesville, Stewart, and Hollywood. And that's on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of June. And then beyond that, we're working on more shows through the rest of the year to celebrate the record and get out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a celebration, everybody. Shoot Your Arrow is out
Yeah.
now. Sundub, still kicking it, doing their thing. It just feels like this record is uh, such an elevation, yet you're obviously keeping your sound. It's always there. It's just this elevation, this live feeling, this full, this more holistically encompassing musical
Mm,
feeling that's happening within this record. It's
mm,
such a, it's a together. What I wrote was together. It
mm,
really feels together. The lyrics are together. The sound is together. And it's so interesting that you said that you guys all recorded together, same day.
yeah.
How cool is that? What are the challenges of recording like that, though? I mean, there are challenges.
Yeah, there's definitely challenges. You have to be more like dialed in. Um, if I mess up on the drums, we're gonna hear it in the like the bass mic cab. There weren't a ton of mics in the room other than the drums, but you'd hear it in that. Yeah, and you just gotta you gotta be more dialed. It's a little less like you can work through section by section and do whatever, everyone's playing together, but then you get the feel. If everyone's performing together, you're gonna get the feel of the music. So yeah, I think we definitely accomplished that, but yeah,
The feel, that's the most important thing. If you are
yeah.
not feeling it, it needs to be. Let's do another take, guys. Got to feel it. There's so many bands that are well, I don't know. I'm kind of divided on it because I hear bands doing recording live, and I hear bands that are not doing it, and it's whatever you want to do. But I feel like when you're all together in the same room, like you said, you got to be dialed in. You got to be ready to go.
Yeah.
And once you get that, then you're on. It's like you're on stage. It's not even like you're
Yeah.
recording. You know what I mean? And that's a special thing. I do want to go back to Jamaica real quick, man. All right, when did you guys go down there, and how long were you down there, and like when was the time frame? I'm trying to figure out the
We
before the
were
hurricane and all that.
yeah, we were down there in 2024 in June from like like maybe the first 2 weeks. We were there for about 12 days. So maybe like June, beginning of June to almost the middle. Yeah, 12 days.
What's something that people like? There's like a stereotype or feeling that people think about Jamaica that's not true. Like when you get there and you're feeling that energy of that beautiful country, what are you feeling that people say like, oh, it's like this? It's like, no, it's not. Tell us about it. Tell us about Jamaica.
Um, I mean, Jamaica is super friendly. Like the Jamaican people are very hospitable, friendly, welcoming. And that's what, made the whole trip work. That's what made Tuff Gong work. Yeah, we were just welcomed in by everybody that we met there. So it was easy to like work creatively there in that sense.
Yes, it is a very welcoming place. And I got to send all my love to all the people of Jamaica right now. Nobody forget this, man. They just went through a category 5 hurricane. I mean, it's people, you see the news reports and everything, and, it only lasts what, like a couple
Yeah,
weeks in the
yeah,
cycle. But everybody needs to remember that there are still so many wonderful, wonderful people down there that are struggling after
yeah,
this. And everybody, please remember that. It's so very important, even though it's not in the news. If you could be there right now, and I've talked to a couple people, it's still very difficult to
yeah,
live down there right now. I watched that when I was watching that thing go through, I was like, oh my goodness. I mean,
yeah. It was bad.
this is intense. And it was at first it was going to hit Kingston. I think that was kind of like the track it was taking at the last
Yeah.
moment. It kind of went towards, Montego and I can't recall the name of the town that just got absolutely decimated on the coast there, um, Southwest coast. But yeah, everybody needs to remember that. Please
Yeah,
support
totally.
Jamaica. Please support Jamaica. All right. So, what have you learned from the road over the past couple of years?
It's a demanding place. Yeah, it's definitely a choice to be on the road, and there's a way to do it to not burn yourself out mentally and physically. And that's different for everyone in every band. Joanna, the singer of Sundub, and my sister has a baby, my nephew. So he's often on the road with us now. So
Mm,
touring looks different than it did for us a couple years ago, and it's probably different than a lot of other bands. Yeah, I mean, so many lessons from the road. I love being on the road and seeing people all over the country that I get to see because I get to travel the country,
yeah.
which is amazing. So,
Yeah, it's a demanding place, and I think you said it right. You guys, there's bands that just grind nonstop and tour 250 days a year, and then there's bands that are a little bit more selective with it, like you
yeah,
guys. And I think that's a smart thing to do. Get your market just really, really full, and your fan base within that radius of, say, Brooklyn and the Northeast, just tight and ready to go, and then make your moves selectively around the
yeah,
country and everything. And I didn't
yeah.
realize there was a new friend here in the family. So that then
Member
you
of the
got the
band.
baby. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys are just tuning in, again, you're late. We got Ben Teters, Sundub in the house. Shoot your arrow. I just shot it over there, and I just shot it over there, and I just shot it right at you guys, which means you guys need to listen to it. Hey, tell us about the vinyl. You guys are gonna have vinyl, right?
Yep, we're gonna have vinyl, we're gonna have CDs. We're gonna have some new merch for the album that's gonna drop this week in our store. Yeah, we're gonna have everything. Everything, got to push it, make that product.
You've got a ton of merch. I love all. I was looking at it earlier. All kinds of cool hats, shirts. I love the Brooklyn reggae, the long sleeve. That one's really cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So I do want to talk about a couple of the tracks here that kind of really got me.
Yeah.
Uh, a family thing. Going back to the togetherness. Tell us about that track.
Yeah, that song is one of my favorites on the record. It's like sort of a unique, you know, it's just unique. It's like a little different than a lot of our other songs. It's a little slower and more like, whatever, grimy or something. Not grimy, but like, it's got like almost like a evil-ish like strut, it's not super
Right.
da, 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 da. It's like, it's got a little more depth there or something. Um, yeah, family operation. There's room for you to join the band. That's one of the lyrics,
That
and
was, yep.
that sums it up. And I think a lot of our songs, the lyric writing is like literal, and also you can interpret it in a way that you want to, which a lot of art is like, okay, like, that's a painting of an apple, but like, what does this represent, or how am I like, how am I processing this? So yeah, there's room for you to do what you want to do. There's room to grow. There's room for, there's room. Things change, and for things to change, it needs room to like move. And, you know,
E-
yeah,
e-
that's my interpretation right now.
Exactly right. You took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say it's a family thing. You'll be able to join the band. That's such a cool thing to say because there's so many people out there that they're like, I'm a fan. I don't like the word fan. I like family better. Because everybody out there that listens and consumes and enjoys and supports, you're part of the band as well. And I think that's such a powerful thing to say about from a band to say that in a song because it's
Yeah.
very important. It takes not just the band, not just the tour manager, not the, but it takes the people that consume it because that's the people that make you, Sundub. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's an interaction. It's not like a one-sided thing.
Right.
Just like a performance, it's like, yes, we're performing for you, but like you're interacting with that performance and it's doing a thing, you
Yeah.
know?
And I also thought it was interesting what you were saying there about, the song. A lot of our songs, like, are can be interpreted however you like. Like this is an apple, but there's also maybe a meaning behind it. Because when Joanna sings on, writes on this record, you hear her talking about, let's see here. If you're around the corner for me, I'll be around the corner for you. Each one has a responsibility to teach one. Uh, Once you get a taste, you'll never let it go. And that kind of stuff. So is it directed towards somebody personally, or is it really just a full kind of holistic overall, like us?
I think it's sort of both. Again, because like a song, at least for me, goes through a process of being written, and maybe it starts with like a direct thing to some individual, but it might turn into more of a like collective us kind of thing, like you said. And that's another thing about Sundub too, is like we write very collaboratively. So everyone within the band is going to interpret the song different potentially, or maybe more similarly than differently. But no matter what, it's like six or seven of us all like working on this song, and not specifically the lyrics always, but it still is a very collaborative like thing. So that sort of gives way for the interpretation to be more like, have more potential to be interpreted in different ways.
Yeah, I think some of the best music that's written is stuff that you can be like, I can relate to that. If you can relate to it, if you hear that, you're like, okay, there's my story in my head from what you're
Yeah.
saying. And then, that's some of the best music out there is when, obviously it's written about a certain thing, but it encompasses, everybody's imagination, everybody's life story. I
Hmm.
think that's such a
Yeah.
powerful thing to do.
Mm.
Uh, I know we got to get you out of here soon, man. It has been an absolute blast, Ben. So good to catch up with you guys. I got a few more, and then we're gonna get you out of here. So, elephant in the room. What lessons learned? AI, music. I don't know if you saw what happened with Scott and Stick Figure the other day. That
Yeah.
somebody jacked his tune, and then it blasted off and went number whatever in the world. And I was texting with him, and he was telling me about it. And the main thing he said to me was like, there is a light in this, I guess you could say, in that like more people are now listening to the music,
Yeah.
which is good, but at the same time, there's light and darkness, just like Joy and Pain. I think that's your song, Joy and Pain.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what do you think about this whole thing?
I mean,
Pretty crazy.
it's very crazy for sure. I don't think it's ever happened. I mean, it happens a lot actually. I've been seeing it in all different genres around the world. Like, actually, there's another happened again with like, it was a little different. It was like an Afrobeat song that knocked off another song off the list. Anyway, yeah, it's a matter of like Scott Stick Figure wrote this song, so he needs to be credited. And anytime that song is used, and this song was used inappropriately or like illegitimately, so that's the battle, is like making sure that he can, retain his control and artists can retain their control in this situation where it's just, yeah, it's way easier. It's a whole new sort of paradigm of music rights and how music is used and how easy it is to, use something that's created by someone and, just, yeah, like they created a ton of other versions of this and yeah, now they're they're huge. So yeah, it's a battle. It's a battle for the rights and artists need to be represented, especially independent artists need to be represented in this situation and looked out for.
That's exactly what he was telling me. He was like, independent artists, what would they do in this situation? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Where do you think this is all going? That's one thing I was also talking to him about. I was like, what do you think like the future of this is going to be? Like, is there going to be a point where it's going to be like, okay, boom, major change is happening. You look at what TuneCore did the other day. They said no more AI uploads. Like they're not allowing that. Where do you think it's going to go?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that musicians and people who create music are always going to create music. You know, like the AI is not going to stop Stick Figure from making amazing music that he makes. AI is not going to stop, it's just not going to stop creators who are creating because like that's what they do in their life. That's what they have to do. That's what fulfills them. So the battle is going to be how to sort of like stick out among the noise of the, hundreds of thousands of AI tracks and other tracks, by humans and whatever that's being uploaded every day. That's the real challenge is like, okay, like how do I reach the right people through this like massive cacophony of new music and AI and all this stuff? How do I reach people who like my music and who want to support me and who gain value in my music and who I am and the community that I built as an artist? I mean, that's what we're trying to do in Sundub, and AI is a tool, so um I mean, I'm sure you use AI like every day, like most people who are in the, chat like on a computer, like,
I don't personally.
no? Okay.
I'm weird. Blue is
Yeah.
so good at tech, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
uses it as a support as a tool as well. And I've tried a couple of things with it, but I'm just so especially after what happened with Scott the other day, I'm
Yeah.
just angry, and it really needs to be like an industry thing. The industry needs to step
Yeah.
in and be like,
But
yo,
that's the thing is
we're
like
not doing this.
but that the thing is that's people though, because it's people using the AI. It's not the AI making a decision, unless I'm totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a person who's using the AI to make the song. It's not an AI using the AI to make like it's a person behind it. So that's why I say it's a tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a tool to, it's a technological tool and it has to be used the right way. If you use it to break something, like in this case, it was breaking the rights of stick figure, then it's being used bad. If you have a hammer and you break something, you're using the tool for like evil or whatever. But if you use it, and it is complicated because it's more complicated than that. There's many implications of AI and jobs and replacement this and we're turning into robots and but I also do think it's a tool, and I use it all the time for my work and for efficiency and it's the internet 2.0 th or 3.0 or whatever you want to call it. Like it's just the evolution of technology and technology is a tool. So
Right.
spiel.
It's like you almost wonder like where is technology, like where is it going to go? Like technology is moving so quickly, and now like
Yeah.
in the industry, music industry, like you now have to know how to make reels.
Oh yeah.
That's part of it. It's engagement. It's this. It's that. Like I just wonder where it's going to go, and is there going to be like a door that just says, "Wait a minute,
Yeah.
hold on, this is going to be locked."
I think
You know
the
what I
other thing
mean?
too is like with the stick figure thing and the AI like going viral thing is it's like going viral is a new thing.
Mm.
That didn't exist really for people to be able to go viral and like have this spike of, engagement and spike of providing value that then like makes them famous or whatever. Like that's a new thing. So I think that that's going to happen a lot, but also virality doesn't guarantee longevity. And oftentimes it doesn't equal that. It's just like a spike and then it's down. And you can see that. I mean, you go into your Instagram, you see the spike of followers or views or whatever. if
That's
you're
true.
consistent in trying to gain those spikes, then like you can turn it into longevity if you sort of try to capture that virality and use it as an engine to grow or whatever. But I think more often than not, it is just sort of a flash in the pan. So
Yeah.
that's where the like artists, real people creating music is like it's longevity. You know, it's not a viral thing. It's like these, first of all, these people work really hard and we admire it because most people work really hard and they like admire people who work hard. And then it's, they love the music and
Yeah.
they love the people. So
Yeah.
that's just a totally different thing than like going viral, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, it used to be called one hit wonder. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what yeah, that's what viral used to be called, a
Yeah.
one hit one.
Totally.
You can still
Yeah.
that's such a good point. Like when
Yeah.
you go viral, that doesn't necessarily mean there's longevity, That's why
No.
building your family base, not your fan base, we call them the family base,
Yeah.
is so very important because those are the people that are listening that will always support no matter what. Hey
Yeah.
man, it's been a blast. I just had to get into that just for a second because we were chatting with Sicky Beats the other day, and we kind of got into it and that, and it's
Yeah.
something that's in the universe, and especially
Yeah.
our musical universe right now,
Totally.
and I think the conversation needs to be had, and people need to be keep talking about it, and
Yeah.
there are good things to everything. You can find good and evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are goods. Goods. There is good and bad, and
Yeah.
joy and pain. Like another great song. I love Joy and Pain. This record's so great. Why should everybody listen to this record? What's so cool about this record, Ben?
I think that this record, like you said, it like continues Sundub and our sound. But it's also an evolution of that. I feel like there's a song in here for everyone in terms of like just like what beat you like or whatever, but also in terms of the lyrics and the place you are in your life. There's a lot of songs on here that I feel like could help people in a time when they like need a song to pick them up or like, represent them something for them. Yeah, I think it's a great record all around. I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of the whole Sundub team, all the musicians and people who collaborated to make this album beyond just like the core of the band, which is, a pretty fair amount of people from our engineers, mix, master, horns, percussion, Easy Star, all, it was a big team effort. So go listen to the record, Shoot Your Arrow, dropped this past Friday on May 15th. It's out now. And yeah, man, thank you so much for having me. Really love
Yeah,
chatting
man.
with you and glad to be back on the show.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure to have you back. I got one more for you. Usually, it's always what does reggae mean to you, but we already did that. So we're gonna end this one with the sun. This is the final track on the record, and you
Oh,
said you
damn.
named it Theson. Tell
Yeah.
us about the sun, man. When I look in your eyes, I see the sun. When I look in your eyes, I see everyone. That one. Tell us about that one, and then we'll get you out of here.
Okay, this is this is a longish story and a deepish, one of the deepest songs
Perfect.
on the album, at least for me. Off the bat, The Sun was like I think the last song written for the record. It was written by mainly me, but collaboratively as well, but I sort of had the start of the song. The Sun is an interpretation of a song of a traditional Zimbabwean song called Kariga Mombe. I play the instrument called the mbira, which is from Zimbabwe, and I've studied some of the traditional repertoire of the music there. And one of the songs is Kariga Mombe, and I wanted for a long time to like adapt one of those songs to the band. I always just thought it would be a good fit. I was playing the like traditional version on the mbira one day and I also at the time had been wanting to write a song about my brother who passed away about 5 years ago. I
Mm.
was like, I really I want to write a song about that. I hadn't really like directly like written a song about him yet. And so that was like just something that I had in my mind, not like for that day or that song specifically. It's just like I want to have a song for him. So I was playing Kariga Mombe on the Mbira and all of a sudden these like English lyrics just came into my head of the song. And it's when I look in your eyes, I see the sun. And that was it. It was like boom, song written. Like, like it happened so instantaneously and just one of those spiritual moments that was like full on, like even talking about it now, it's like, wow, that was just a very spiritual like thing that I really truly feel like my brother just was like came through and was like, this is the song that you've been wanting to write about me. Like, here it is. Here's the lyric. And just sort of gave me the song, which already existed. The song was, again, it's an adaptation of this traditional song. And it's not really like, I mean, yeah, it's an adaptation, but I didn't change much. We just sort of play it with the band. And of course, there's like English lyrics now instead of like the traditional Shona lyrics.
Hmm.
So that song just came through like really heavy. And that is just such an incredible experience when, you're just in that zone. And, I mean, losing my brother was a very heavy thing. So that can like put me in a spot to like let that creative energy or whatever energy like really come through. And in that moment on that day, it was like, boom, like, and actually we had just gotten back from a Sundub tour. And sometimes that's sort of like you're on tour, you're running through it and you finally get home and you're like, oh, it's like, so
Hmm.
it was just a wild experience. And one more thing I'll say about that song too, in the sort of spiritual sense is I asked my teacher, what is that song about in Zimbabwe? Like, what are the lyrics? What are they talking about? What are they singing about? And he said the translation, and again, like people interpret these songs differently, especially over like thousands of years of playing them. So like the song is like ping-ponging back and forth through people, through the spiritual, like the song turns into one song. But anyway, he said they're singing about, he said pulling someone from a grave,
Hmm.
which, it literally can start, it's like, no, we're not digging up someone. We're not
Right.
digging up a deceased person in the ground. Like the spirit has just been pulled from the grave. That's at least what my interpretation was of it. And that's just crazy because I wanted to write a song for my brother who was not here. And that's the story of the sun. And so I wrote those lyrics. And again, it was one of those things where it's like, I look into your eyes, I see the sun, like it could mean I see my son. That could mean I see the sun reflecting in your eyes. It's like, again, one of those things where it's like, yeah, that was a visual experience. So that's a
Hmm.
heavy song. And you can hear that instrument at the very end of it as the song fades out and the album ends. You can hear the mbira. Dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
dun, 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 dun. It's just like,
What a cool way to end the
yeah.
record, man. I knew that was going to be something special. That's kind of why I want to end on it.
Mhm.
When somebody does a sneaky snake thing, instead of naming it the Sun, S-U-N, and it's S-O-N, and then I listened to it, I was like, this has some power to it. I can
Mhm.
feel something, man. Hey, shoot your arrow. It's got a song for everyone. I love that. I love you guys. I am so glad we got to chat and catch up.
Yeah,
Everybody, please go check out Sundub. Sundubmusic.com. Is that correct?
that's it. Sundub.
Yes, that's where it is, man. And at Sundub on the interwebs, and man, it's just so great to see you grow and learn, and what a great evolution of Sundub. Shoot your arrow, Ben. It has been a pleasure, man.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, man, great to talk to you. I'm glad I got to expound upon the sun there. That's just like, yeah, it's a deep one. So, yeah, man, thank you for having me on. Shoot your arrow out now, everywhere. Come see Sundub
Yeah,
in
take it
your
back and shoot your arrow. Boom, with a bunch of love. We'll see you next
Yeah.
time. All right.
All right, thanks,
All
Alex.
right. Peace.
When the roadblock tries to stop me, never worry, I'll be going on my way. When the voices try to distract me,